Give it up for Jeremy Schneider, everyone!
Hi guys, I got Summit. I'm so pumped to be here. A little correction. She said $500 into $3.4 million per month. The month was in the wrong spot. It's $500 per month into $3.4 million, which mathematically makes a massive difference, but still very cool. Oh, hey, the clicker. Is the clicker around? I forgot to look for the clicker. Thank you so much. Sweet. So, I'm the founder of Personal Finance Club. I retired at age 36 years old with millions of dollars, and I'm going to go into basically my story, how I retired, and how to do this, how to turn $500 a month into 3 point. And in the agenda it says 3.4 million. Now it says 3.1. Kind of a bad month for the market, but still a lot of money. All right, so this is me at 22. My story is one of privilege. I was lucky to have parents who helped me pay for college. I also got a track scholarship at the University of Michigan. I worked during summers. I worked during the school year. And because of all those reasons, I was able to graduate instead of swimming in student loans with a $6,000 surplus. So you can see on the screen on the bottom left, that's my net worth at each age, and my car is driving. I'm 42 now, by the way, so I've been retired for 6 years or so. I was fortunate enough to turn down a job offer from Microsoft. They gave me a very lucrative job offer as a computer programmer, and instead I decided to start my own company. And so for the next 2 years, I was basically losing money. I had no idea what I was doing. You can see my net worth dropped to negative $12,000, and I'm still driving that same car. This is me trying to sell my wares at a local conference or something. But continue on, a couple more years, the business is doing better. After 4 years of staying persistent, my net worth had grown to about zero again. I was at $1,000. This is me sending out some invoices. Continuing on, at the age of 30, I started hiring employees. The business did even better. And now my net worth is $41,000. And an important note along this journey, I was always the lowest paid employee at my company. Everyone I hired, I paid more than myself. My max take-home salary was $36,000 a year. And that's not some like accounting trick I was paid in stock options or something. That's like how much money I had in my bank account. So that's $3,000 a month. I spent less than that. And this is, this is a few years ago. That's not like ancient history. So it's still very little. And so all my employees were making more money than me. And so that $41,000 there isn't the value of my company. I didn't include that in my net worth. That was me actually saving along the way. So I wasn't even spending all $3,000 a month. I was saving some of it and investing, which we're going to talk about. Then at the age of 33, I've got a bigger team. My net worth is $110,000, and that $110,000 is just the result of working for about 10 years. I was living on $3,000 a month, but I'd save about $500 a month. That $500 we're going to talk about. $500 a month times 12 months is $6,000, times 10 years is $60,000. So this is about 10 years of saving, but that 60 grew into 110 from investing. And so this is the start of this magnificent compound growth, exponential growth. And my compound growth was very fortunately for me interrupted by something cool, which is I sold my internet company for about $5 million. So my share after taxes was about $2 million. So I became a millionaire in the click of a button, which was very nice, highly recommended if you can ever pull it off. Thank you, one person who is impressed by that. And you might be saying at this point, everyone who didn't clap, you're like, wait a minute. Hey, wait, slides. Hey, wait, you said $500 a month into millions of dollars, you just sold an internet company. And that's true, but baked into my story, before the sale, during the sale, and after to this day, is a frugality. I was living below my means. The halls of history are filled with bankrupt NFL players and lottery winners and lawsuit and inheritance recipients, right? So just because you get a windfall doesn't mean you're wealthy forever. You can easily go bankrupt with poor money management. Like they say, you can't out-earn bad spending habits. If you're spending all your money, you're going to be broke. So I was very fortunate to have a windfall. If I didn't behave like I had been behaving, this could be the end of the story. I could be 42, homeless, net worth of negative $200,000, but still driving a very nice BMW. Maybe I could get out of the lease or something. But this is not the story, thankfully. What really happened was after I sold my company, I worked at the company for 2 more years. You can see my net worth increased from about $2.1 to $2.9 million. Why? Because instead of spending like a baller, I was living below my means and investing all that money. And you can see, actually, on the previous slide, let's go back. Here we go. I was driving a '99 Ford Explorer when I sold my company for $5 million. And so a lot of people, when I talk about driving a modest car, they're like, oh, I gotta drive the car that you want for success, or I need to impress my clients, or yada, yada, yada. No one cares what you drive. Clean up the French fries off the floor, and that's a pretty good start for your car. But I did finally buy a new car. I bought a Mazda when I was a multi-millionaire here. I finally quit my job here at the age of 36, and this is kind of like my going away party with my team. And then for the next year, I played StarCraft 2. I was officially retired as like a young adult. I traveled, I worked out, I did the stuff that I thought people were supposed to do when they retired, and it was fun and it was cool. You can see my net worth increased another $300,000, not from work, but because my investments continued to grow over time. Still driving the same car. Then at the age of 38, I decided that I was bored, I didn't want to be a gamer my whole life, and so I started an Instagram account, Personal Finance Club, which is basically a way to educate people on personal finance and investing. Exactly what I'm doing right here today. You can see here I'm celebrating 300 followers, which I was very excited about because you just saw a minute ago, like, it's hard to get 300 followers, and that was my start. And then this is today. I've got about 500,000 followers on Instagram now, and thank you. And a net worth of $4.8 million. And almost all this net worth has basically come from investing and living below my means along the way. So that's my story. Now let's talk about how to actually build wealth. To build wealth, to become wealthy, to be rich, to make millions, you need to do two things. Number one, you need to live below your means. If you make $500,000 a year and you spend $500,000 a year, there's a word for that. It's called broke. You have zero. 500,000 minus 500,000, pull out your iPhone calculators, I promise you it's zero. So if you don't spend less than you make, you're broke. But if you make $50,000 a year and you spend $40,000 a year, that $10,000 a year, when combined with rule number two, investing, can make you easily a multimillionaire over the course of a career. So rule number two is invest early and often. And this is the simple message. I know it's kind of late in the day, we've been watching amazing speakers all day, and there's like information overload. If you can take away one thing, it's this. You spend less than you make, you invest the difference. All the other nonsense you hear in the financial space, day trading and Bitcoin and futures and options and GameStop and blah, 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 it's all nonsense, it's all nonsense. This is how rich people get rich. This is it in picture format. If you spend that, or you earn that much and spend that much, you're broke. If you earn that much and spend that much, you're rich. I always get comments online like, oh, you can't save 20% of your income. And it's like, I didn't even tell you how much this person made. Someone makes 20% less than they do. And so whatever you make, and as traders, you might have windfalls, you might have good months, you might have bad months, and it's really tempting to let lifestyle take hold of you. Ooh, I had a $10,000 month, I'm gonna spend $10,000. But you have to keep in mind, spending, if you have to make $10,000 and spend $10,000, that's not wealth, that's spending. And so we see a lot of stuff on social media like this. People who look rich. And this is actually my Bitmoji. I didn't set out to make him look super douchey, but it just kind of happened that way. But that's my Bitmoji, and fancy car, fancy clothes, spends lots of debt. But this isn't rich. This is people trying to look rich. But actual rich people don't set out to draw attention to themselves. Actual wealthy people prefer to keep a low profile. Actually rich looks like this: a humble style, a reliable car, giving a lot, and a paid off home. This is what real wealth looks like. And so when you see people on the left, people who look like people on the left, that's not really wealth, it's spending. So this is not about money, but kind of a funny story that just happened is, sometimes when I do public speaking, I get thirsty, and as I was coming out, I asked one of the nice producers over there if they had a drink. And I think there might have been something that was lost in communication because they handed me 2 bottles. And she said, one is water and one is vodka. And I don't remember which is which. So, we're gonna go for it. Oh, okay. That was the water. That's better. Okay. I'm just kidding, guys, that's a joke. They're both vodka. All right, continuing on about money, let's not let my hilarious drinking problem get us too distracted here. All right, so let's learn how to invest. So if we've lived below our means, we need to learn how to actually do rule number 2, put your money to work. I'm going to tell a story about Ashley and Amanda. Ashley saves $500 per month. That $500 we're talking about. Oh, there's the 500. There's Amanda. All right. She gets a 2% rate of return in a high yield savings account. So I talk to people all the time who make good money and they just put it into a savings account. And so this is what Ashley's doing. Right now, high yield savings accounts are paying 4 to 5%, which is great, but 3 years ago they were paying 0%. And so 2% is kind of a reasonable average over a long period of time. Amanda saves the exact same $500 a month, but she gets a 10% rate of return by investing in an index fund. And let's see the impact that makes. This blue line is $500 per month times 12 months times 40 years is $240,000. So that's how much they both save if they just kept it under their mattress. But Ashley doesn't actually put it under her mattress, she puts it into a high yield savings account. How did she end up? With $365,000. So she made $125,000 of interest over the 40-year investing career shown on the slides here. Which $125,000 is nothing to sneeze at. I sure like $125,000, but it's not really enough to retire on, certainly not enough to retire early. So here comes Amanda. She gets that 10% rate of return. How does she do? She ends up with $2.9 million. And remember, they both saved the same amount of money. They did the hard part the same. And so it shows the dramatic effect of investing versus saving. And you might be saying, okay, Jeremy, you just typed a bunch of numbers into Excel, which is very easy to do. And you're right, it is easy to do, which is why I like doing it. But point taken. So how would Amanda have done if she had actually invested in the actual stock market over the last 4 years? All the crashes, all the gloom and doom, the recessions, everything bad we hear about. Would she have actually gotten $2.9 million? And the answer is no. She would have gotten about $3.1 million because the stock market did return 10% over the last 3 years, or after the last 4 years, or returned about 10.2%. Okay, so this is the stock market. That blue line is the actual stock market. These are the stock market crashes. So you can see there's more volatility than the smooth curve, but over time, it sticks pretty close to 10%. So the next question is, which stocks do you buy? You buy Amazon, Tesla, Google, Facebook, whatever. So who wants to hear, right now on the stage, who wants to hear the next hot stock? The next Tesla, the next Amazon, the next GameStop? Make some noise if you want to hear the next stock. You are all about to be really fucking disappointed. Because I do not know the next hot stock, and anyone who does also is full of shit. I'm sorry for my language, but it's true. Let's look at how stock picking works. If you go to a casino and you're a gambler, out of every 100 gamblers who walk into a casino, 13 of them walk out a winner. So 87 out of 100 gamblers who walk into a casino walk out a loser, which is kind of how it makes sense. You know, some people win, but most people lose when they gamble. Well, what about stock picking? We've all seen the day traders at least I see a lot of my feeds. They've got like 50 screens and they've got like big headsets and they've got all these charts and analysis and technicals. How do they do? Out of every 100 day traders, only one consistently beats the stock market. When you see day traders online, it's a lie. It's not true. They're selling a lie. So do not be a day trader, do not pick hot stocks. And if you've heard about the risk associated with investing, it's usually like this. What should you do? Invest in an index fund. What's an index fund? It's basically a simple way where a bunch of people put their money into a single fund, but there's no trader, there's no manager. Instead, the fund contains every stock. So an index fund contains basically the entire stock market. And then you can own every single stock all at once, guaranteeing yourself your full share of market growth. The fees are very low, there's pennies, and the money is returned back to the investors. And this is how you follow that curve of the growth of the entire economy. This is an actual index fund. This is what it looks like. And we know when I start saying the word index fund, it's like very abstract, it's a very scary term, but it's really easy to do. And I'm trying to make an exciting presentation, so I didn't do like a demo of what buttons to click on a website, but it's like a matter of 5 minutes of clicking a button. But you can see I Googled VT, which is the Vanguard Total World Stock Market ETF. If you buy VT, you own the 8,000 publicly traded companies around planet Earth. It's like the simplest way to guarantee that every person working on planet Earth is working for you, and the growth and profits of all these companies are transferred back to you. That's it. That's how you do it. You put $500 a month into VT, just leave it alone, you don't sell anything, wait for that compound growth to take effect, and you'll have millions of dollars over the course of your investing career. How do you do it? You go to open an account at one of these websites, you put money in, and then you click buy. That's it. That's how you make millions of dollars. It's all on my Instagram too, if you guys want all the how-to videos that are Personal Finance Club. So that's it. That's how you turn $500 a month into $3.1 million. But if you take away anything, it's to do the two rules. Rule number one is to live below your means, and rule number two is invest early and often. If you do these two things, you'll be wealthy. If you spend all your money and don't invest, you'll stay broke. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.